So, Professor Krein, with the growth of for-profit youth sports, what would you say the impact of for-profit youth sports will have in the future of our youth sports programs?
Well, it's going to be significant. It's a growing piece of the business. The youth sport world that a lot of us knew growing up was nonprofits, civitans and civic organizations, local recreation departments, maybe the YMCA, running these things in a real mom and pop basis just to provide access for kids. Sometimes people refer to it as sport for all or sport for the masses. But there's a growing demand for higher level sports, and we've seen it we've seen professionalization all through the industry. College athletics is working hard to operate more like pro athletics. High schools are modeling what they do on college athletics, and now we're seeing youth sports modeling themselves on the college and pro model. And so this sort of begins with travel sports, and we see this now trickling down into youth sports, where people are operating sports leagues as a franchise. It's a business. They can buy a territory and have a sports league they run, and it's a franchise, just like a Subway restaurant or any other kind of franchise business.
So what would you say are some of the pros and cons of a for-profit league versus a nonprofit league?
Well, the feeling among the people who take advantage of these leagues, very often they may be creating leagues where there isn't one. That's sometimes the case. Maybe they're meeting a market need. A lot of times parents want programs that are considered higher level. Nicer uniforms, better quality fields, maybe even professional coaches. And there's also a demand, in a lot of cases, parents want youth sports to be increasingly organized and professional, and at younger and younger ages too. And very often local nonprofits may draw the line at a certain age and say we're not going to offer leagues below say 5 years old.
Right.
And parents are very often eager to get their kids in youth sports at 3 years old, 4 years old, and so you have for-profit organizations coming in and meeting this need. So there certainly is some benefit when youth sport opportunities are available in places where they wouldn't otherwise be, and where parents are getting more of what they want.
Absolutely. And so would you say that it might take away the integrity of the game, especially when you want to teach kids about teamwork and good values like that?
There are certainly some challenges. As soon as you start introducing a profit model, people have an incentive to do what's going to make them the most money, and maybe not necessarily what's best for kids. The issue of younger ages is maybe one of those. We could think about if we study the youth development literature, most experts would say that kids shouldn't be involved in youth sport at such a young age as say 3 or 4, but parents want it. So where's the balance? What's best for athletes?
Do you think that that's because parents feel that the earlier they start, the more opportunities they'll have in the future?
I think that's one of the really big drivers. I think you hit the nail on the head, that there's a fear of falling behind, and people are very often chasing that dream of an athletic scholarship, which statistics say there's a minute opportunity that happening. Most of the time people will spend more money chasing the scholarship than what they could even get if they did land a scholarship, which is highly unlikely.
Absolutely. Well, Dr. Krein, thanks for joining us. This is all the time we have for this Sport Management Minute. Now back to the desk.